Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel, where I'm always breaking down the hot sports topics of the day. So be sure to check out my other videos and subscribe to my page to get all of my videos delivered directly to your inbox. Andy Reid is on the verge of becoming the next head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, and I thought I'd take some time this morning to look at this hire from both the coach's point of view, Coach Reid, and also the Kansas City Chiefs organization point of view. If I'm Coach Reid and I'm looking at it through his glasses, this is a good place for me to land, and for some main reasons. First of all, I have the number one pick in this upcoming draft. Secondly, I have a lot of cap room, which I think is important for anyone trying to develop their own program coming into an organization. Third, I have four legitimate playmakers on both sides of the ball. I have Jamal Charles on offense. I have Tamba Ali. I have Derek Johnson, and I have Eric Berry on the defensive side of the ball. Four Pro Bowlers in the mix here as far as me coming over and taking over a team. And I think to get a team with that much cap flexibility and the number one pick, I think that this is an ideal situation for Reid to walk into. To walk into a situation, if he went to San Diego, he'd have a better quarterback. But what's their cap situation? If he walked into Buffalo, he would be stuck with Ryan Fitzpatrick and an underachieving defense, right? So I think it's important for an offensive guy like Reid to have guys in place on the defensive side of the ball, have the number one pick, which I strongly think if he's not able to get a free agent quarterback he's familiar with, he'll go quarterback with that number one pick and be able to have that cap space to sort of develop around. And it's a pretty similar situation to what he had when he took over the Eagles. His first move was to draft Donovan McNabb. They were under the salary cap, and they made smart salary cap conscious moves for a little bit over a decade, and it led to a lot of sustained success for that organization. So I think Andy Reid sees a lot in this Chiefs job, what he saw in the Eagles job years ago. Now, the big thing for Andy Reid is going to be the hiring of a defensive coordinator. If you look at the years they had Jim Johnson, that defense was tops in the league. Andy Reid took care of the offensive side of the ball, and they rolled along. After Jim Johnson got sick and unfortunately passed away, it was very hard to fill that void he left, and the defense's demise was one of the things that hurt Andy Reid. They tried to throw money at the defense with Jason Babin, Nnamdi Asomugha, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. They tried to throw money at it, and it didn't work. So I think that'll be big for Andy Reid, but as long as he gets a defensive coordinator in place that's solid, I see no reason why in 4 or 5 years he can't have a similar program to how he had in Philly. And it'd be interesting to see from a pro personnel point of view who he has with him, because another big part of their success in Philly was Joe Banner and his ability to evaluate talent and his ability to sort of structure these contracts where they never got in trouble with the salary cap. Will Scott Pioli stay? Will he go? I think Andy Reid will have a say in that. If they're going to give the keys to the car to Andy Reid, they're going to let him run it like he wants to run it. Does he want Pioli to stay? I don't know. Does he want Tom Heckert to come? Has been reported. Heckert's a guy that worked with him in Philly. We'll see how that unfolds. But as far as Andy Reid's point of view, I think this is pretty much the best situation he can come into and win relatively soon. And I know I didn't think that at first, but after I started looking into it, I definitely feel that way. As far as the Chiefs organization goes, a little less puzzled about just the nature of how quick they want to hire Andy Reid. I don't know if it's a situation where they know Reid is their guy. They don't want to let him go interview with the Cardinals, with the Chargers, because they'll fear that they'll lose him. I don't know about the rush to hire Andy Reid if I'm the Chiefs organization, because this is a guy who the last 2 seasons had teams quit on him. There's no real other way to put it. And I know when you're in a place for as long as Andy Reid, maybe your message gets tired. Maybe it's pretty clear they invested money in the wrong players. I said before, Jason Babin, Michael Vick, Nnamdi Asomugha. These guys ended up being guys who just didn't get it done to the level that they needed to in order for Reid to be able to still be the coach in Philadelphia. He dealt with some attitude problems, most notably, Deshaun Jackson until they gave him his money. Those are things you never heard happening in Reid's first decade. He ran a relatively tight ship. They managed the salary cap well, and they sort of rolled along with a decade of consistency. So from the Chiefs' point of view, I think I might be interviewing some other candidates, seeing what else is out there. There are plenty of offensive minds out there that the Chiefs can have their pick of, because I think they want to go offense just because of the fact their offense has been so putrid. They need someone who can work well with quarterbacks. I don't know why they don't have more of an interest in Mike McCoy or Pete Carmichael, but it seems like Andy Reid is their guy. The Chiefs organization as a whole is a good organization. I mean, the fans are good. The organization's a traditional organization. The Hunts, from all accounts, seem like great people to work for. So again, I totally get why this is a no-brainer for Andy Reid. Just not sure why from the Chiefs' perspective. But it looks like they're going to move forward with Reid, try to get that offense back and rolling. If you remember, in the mid-2000s, they had an historically good offense, when Priest Holmes was there and Dick Vermeil and Trent Green and so on. And now, after the hiring of Herman Edwards and the Pioli regime has come in now, we've seen the total lackluster performance of that offense year in and year out. So I think this is the Chiefs organization saying, we think this is the best offensive guy. He has history of rebuilding a storied franchise in the Eagles. So let's bring him in here and see what he can do. So, I mean, I wish both sides luck. It seems like they're on the same page as far as Andy Reid wants to go there and they want him. It's not a situation where the Chiefs got their fourth choice of coach. I think they got their man. We'll see how it goes going forward. Let me know what you think of the move. Do you think Reid's a good fit in Kansas City? Do you like Andy Reid as a head coach? Let me know. Hit me up on the comments here on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to my page, and I'm also on Twitter as well, @SNewsAnalysis. Thanks, guys.